So today our focus will be unit number 10. So if you guys remember last week, we talked about logical files. We talked about physical files. We did examples of selection and omissions. And we worked with some operators like comparison, range, values in the last two weeks, I should say. And then we looked at the operators like greater than, less than, greater than equals to, less than equals to, the whole 9 yards. And that was all around chapter number 8, just a handful of pages, 6-7 pages in chapter 8, that what we basically worked on. We will continue to work on logical files for the most part today. Our main focus or emphasis for today's class would be to learn about joins. Let me give you some idea as to what direction we'll be going for the joins today. Joins allow you to put together multiple physical files in your result set. For example, if you have data in one physical file and you have data in another physical file, and the data from both physical files is somehow linked with a common field. So that linked information on a common field, you can use that to bring the pieces of puzzle together to build the entire record set. For example, if one physical file has the manufacturer ID, the manufacturer's name, the manufacturer's city, the manufacturer's state, and another physical file has a manufacturer ID and the product ID and the product name and the product price. Now you want to see the name of the manufacturer for each product, but that information is not available to you in the product's physical file. So you can go to each of the products, grab the manufacturer ID of the product, go to the manufacturer's physical file, match that, and grab the name of that manufacturer, and then display both pieces of information on the matching manufacturer ID from both sets. That is something which is called joining logical files. Does everybody understand that? So that will be our focus for today, is to create physical files with common fields and then link the data set. If you look at the example I gave you in unit number 9, I asked you to create 2 physical files, right? And if you look at those physical files that I gave you in unit number 9, those physical files, one of them is called publisher and the other one is called books. Is there anything common between them?
The publisher ID.
Publisher ID, okay. And when you start working on the homework for unit number 9, you'll be like, why in the world has he made us create 2 physical files and populate them with data when he's only using one of them in the assignment? Well, that assignment will be when you do the assignment for joins next week. So I just created one data set, and last week I assigned you one problem on that data set, which was to work with only one physical file. Even this week's assignment is also about working with selection and omission on one data set. And next week assignment about joins will then be about working with multiple physical files and joining the data from there. So not this week, but the next week's assignment will then allow you to join. So one of the reasons I'm giving a week's break here is so that, because when it is fresh in your mind, you do it and then you forget it. When there's a week's gap, now when you start working on the assignment next week on the join topic that we are learning today, now that will probably make you think and maybe go back and revise, and that probably will help you retain the information better. And just so that you know, there will be a problem similar to this on the final exam, where you will be asked to create a bunch of physical files, populate them with data, and join the data set between the two of them. So next week's assignment is very crucial in that regard, that will prepare you for one of the three parts for the final exam. Okay, so the final exam will have total of three parts. So we have 2 more weeks before the final. So next week, today we probably may dive a little bit into databases, but we'll be spending more time with databases on the 22nd. So the assignment about databases that you will receive, that assignment will be another hands-on part, will be similar to another hands-on part on your final. So your final exam will be 3 parts. Will be 1 database hands-on, 1 logical file hands-on, and 1 multiple choice. And again, you know, the exam is typically designed in a fashion that if you know your material, you could easily done the exam in 2 hours. And some people do it faster than 2 hours, depending on how quick like you are with your stuff. I've had people do that exam in an hour or 2, but you know, we generally keep a time. I generally keep a times and a half, so that, you know, in case anybody needs more time, we'll also be able to complete it. But you guys have a week to do it. So it's not like you're bound for 3 hours, but you know, it is something that is designed for 3 hours. It's not designed for a week, just so that it shouldn't overwhelm you that, wow, he's giving a week, so it must be very tough. No, it's designed for 2 hours, but you have a week to do it. Okay. Any questions? Everybody's good? Okay. So why don't you guys log into the one login, and from there log into V2 Cloud, and then open RDI and give me a green check when you're ready. And then I'll start sharing my screen, and then we'll be building our example for today. Okay, awesome. Hey, Pam. I was having this problem of reconnecting even last week, Friday. And all I did was I just then hit refresh, and then it was working fine. Let's try that again this week as well. Did anybody else have something similar going? Wow. Here we go. Okay, so far, two of you are done. Okay, three of you are done. And oh, did I lose Dar? Yeah, I don't see Dar anymore. So everybody present is presently logged into the V2 cloud. Okay. So first of all, we want to make sure that we are in the Remote System Explorer, RSC. Let me log in. And let me scroll down to fall 22 initials A. Okay, this is where I will be creating my new member. So what did I tell you? The example I gave you earlier today about manufacturer and products. How about we use the same example, right? Not a bad idea. So we'll start creating our physical file members first. So my first member is, let me turn on my caps lock. Menu F for manufacturer, FA22, or I'll just do menu F22 initials. I think that's better. Menu 22 initials. It'll be a physical file. So don't forget to choose PF and then hit finish. Okay. So now the first thing is I am creating my physical file member. You guys know how to create one, so you can just follow along. Okay, give me a green check when you guys are done creating this. By done creating, I mean you're done compiling it and you've checked the commands log to make sure that it's there. Pam, let me know when you're done. Okay. So Pam, did you catch any mistakes that you were making on your, I mean, like when you were doing it?
Yeah, I think it's because I don't have the record.
Oh, you did not do the record format. You directly went for fields. Okay.
Yeah. So do you just make up the record name?
Yep. You just come up, you just make up the record format name. You always have to have a record format name.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, Dar, welcome back. Dar, we are in V2 Cloud. I don't know at what time we lost you. But in the V2 Cloud, in the RDI, in our source physical file, we just created this physical file and we're just done compiling it. So update me where you are in terms of, are you in V2 Cloud? Are you logging into V2 Cloud? You will be logging to the V2 Cloud. Are you in RDI? Where exactly are you?
I'll be logging in.
You'll be logging into the V2 Cloud?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let me know when you're in the V2 Cloud and you're in RDI. And then I'll share with you the source code.
Okay.
Okay. So in the meanwhile, Pamela, how about you try fixing your code on your end to see if you can now fix it yourself? So Nathan and Ismail, are you guys all set for the next semester?
Yeah.
Not yet?
Almost.
Almost. Okay. Do you know which classes you have to take next semester?
I do.
Okay. 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 Just so that you guys know, At this point, we only have the day sections for Java and internet programming. But as they get full, because I think one of them was already full and the other one has only one seat left, so it will start the waiting list. Once we get enough people in the waiting list for the internet programming and Java class, we will then open an evening section. But until and unless we have people in the waiting list, we can't really tell the registrar's office to open another section. So even if it gives you a waiting list option, register for the waiting list. Okay. Cool. Because usually registrar's office doesn't let us open another section if the current section has a room. And they say, okay, it's full, but there is nobody waiting, so we will not open another section. But if we have section full with a waiting list, then we can build our case.
All right, I'm in.
Okay. So when you are in the RDI, go to your source physical file, which is FA22, your initials. Right click on that and create a new member. Let me know when you are on that screen.
So what was the name of it?
I will tell you the name of the member. I just want you to get to that dialog box where you can enter the name.
You said go to,
Oh, right click on your source physical file, which is FA22, your initials A, the source
okay,
physical file
so
that we have been using this semester.
all right, so right click,
Yeah, and then go to new member.
a new member.
Okay, now I'll tell you the name of the member in the chat. So because it's a little bit difficult to read on the tab. So in the chat, that is the name of the member. Instead of SY, you put your initials, okay? Menu 22, and you put your initials. And then make sure in the member type, choose PF. Because this is a physical file. Logical files don't have unique or keys or fields with descriptions. So this is a physical file. Once you click OK on the physical file, then you can see the source code on my screen. Create this physical file.
All right, so I made it. Said right click it.
You are on the dialog box, correct? Where you entered the name and the type, right?
Yeah, press
Okay.
finish.
And then you hit the finish. Very good. Now you will see a blank screen, I mean like a white screen on which you can enter your source code. So on the very first line, you hit F4, and that will bring your prompt. And once you are in the prompt, then you will enter the source code that you see on my screen. And to answer to Smile's question, yeah, as Pamela said, yes, Smile, you can always switch between sections. That's the whole point of putting you guys in the waiting list, because some people did register for the morning or the afternoon sections. Their intent is to actually take an evening one. So I told them, register. We have enough people that will create a waiting list. Once it creates a waiting list, we will then create an evening section for the same offering. And then anyone who wants to switch to evening can then switch to the evening one. We will notify, the waiting list people get notified. And as soon as the evening section becomes available, I will notify all my classes, my first semester classes also. Personally email all my first semester classes. So the moment the waitlist is generated, maybe if the waitlist is generated before Thanksgiving or by Thanksgiving, then we can go to the registrar's office and ask them to open another section. So maybe by the first week of December, the week of finals, or even before the week of finals, we'll have another section open. So, you guys, we will communicate with you. Actually, I am meeting with the department chair tomorrow for that. So. Well, the problem is we cannot tell registrar's office to offer classes out of sequence. We can only ask them to open additional sections for in-sequence classes if initial sections are full. We used to be able to do that in the past, but 2-3 years ago, they forced us not to be able to do that. And for a year or two, for the first year, we were able to still be able to offer the intro to programming in spring because it was a shared course between two programs. But that isn't an option anymore. So that's why a software developer program is the only program that offers this. So the only time it gets offered is in the fall.
All right, I got everything typed in.
Okay, did you compile it? So compile it and check your commands log to make sure that everything is created.
Yes, made.
Okay, awesome. Guys, we will now create our next physical file by right-clicking the source physical file and going to the new member. The name of our next physical file will be parts 22 and your initials. and PF will be the member type. And hit finish. Now, manufacturer ID is a common field between the two physical files. So that's why I have to be careful. I have to make sure I give the same length and same type. So that's one thing that's very important. And remember, when you're creating joins between the physical files, at the physical file creation level, there is no way for one physical file to know that the data it will hold will be linked to another physical file. However, this is all done at the logical file level. So physical files are created unaware of that.
So do you always have to use unique in a physical file? Is it just if you don't want like repeating?
Yes,
Cool.
it's only when you do not want the repeating values for your key field.
Okay. Is that something we need to have in the homework that was assigned for chapter 9, or can we?
Yes, yes, yes. The publisher ID will be unique in the publisher, and title will be unique in the books. We always keep that a practice so that user cannot enter duplicate values, and just to avoid the duplicates on the keys. Okay, give me a green check when you guys are done compiling this as well. Okay, and we'll wait for DAR. to give us the green check. And then we will move on to entering data in both of the physical files. Dar is, are you getting any errors or you're just coding?
I'm putting the stuff in.
You're coding the file? Okay.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay. Now let's all go to the database development and let's open Death Star. And let's go to the tables. And in the tables, we will look for, first of all, the manufacturer, 22 initials, which will be in the letter M. And then we right click on it and we go to return all, we go to data edit. So the whole idea over here would be that I will be creating maybe like 3, 4 manufacturers. And then when I go to the parts, I will put some parts with each manufacturer. And then when we start joining everything together is when we will join the 2 data sets based on the common manufacturer ID. And that way we'll be able to pull manufacturer information for each part that we will pull out from the system. Okay. So let me enter some manufacturers first. I will keep 1, 2, 3, 4 as their IDs. So you guys can also do that. The rest of the information, you can make up your own information. As long as we have the same manufacturer IDs, 1, 2, 3, 4, the rest of the information is irrelevant. And just go by the size of the field as stated in the top column, like state is only 2 characters. So once I insert the data, I can right click to check the data under return all rows. And that's where my data shows up. So if you are interested, I'll zoom into my data. So it'll be easier for you to see in the snipping tool. Oops. Here is my snipping tool. Let me know when you guys are done entering the data. I'll just clear your previous. Okay, so far, Ismail and Pamela are the only two people done with data entry. And Dar and Nathan, you're still working on the data entry? Oh, Nathan is also done. Okay, we're just waiting for Dar. Okay. Awesome. After that, we will right click on the parts and we will enter by clicking edit to enter some data. Again, remember for part IDs, we can follow the same 1, 2, 3, 4 sequence. Just remember when it comes to manufacturer ID, do not enter any manufacturer ID outside of 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So again, give me a green check when you're done.
Can you
Dar,
zoom in on it a little bit more?
say it again, Dar.
Can you zoom in on it a little bit more?
Sure. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I got it all done.
Okay. Now that we are done with creating the physical files, and then we are done adding data to the physical files, now I want to walk you through some of the code in the book before we can put it all together so that you know where to look for in the book for the joins. So chapter number 8 will be ours, is where we'll be going. And in chapter number 8, let me tell you the page number, just 1 minute. If you could all turn to page 358 and 359. Pages 358 and 359. Wow, my Blackboard is very slow today. Wow. Interesting. Here we go. So what you're looking at on page number 358 is basically these two files. Both of these are physical files. One of them is called zippf, the other one is called emppf. They both have a collection of fields. Is there a common field between the two of them?
They both have zip.
Both have a zip, and zip is a common field. So if I want to see the city and the state of any employee, I can match the zip code in both of these physical files, and then I can pull the city and state of the employee based on the matching zip. That's basically what the logical file will do that you can see on page 359. Now let's learn how logical file does this. Logical file does this in 4 steps. Step number 1, where you write your record format, instead of writing P file, you typically write P file like the way you can see over here in this example, okay? So a logical file typically calls P file when it is trying to borrow the fields from a physical file. However, when you are joining, you call J file, not the P file. And then you list in the parentheses all the physical files that you are interested in joining. On the next line, in the drop-down box from where you picked R, you will pick J. And then you will give each one of your physical files a number. So the first one is 1, the second one is 2. And I'll tell you the reason why the numbering is needed. Look at the third line. This is where you call another function called jField, and you basically tell that I want the zip from employee PF and the zip from zip PF. Those are the 2 fields that have the common data. Then after that, you start listing all your fields. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay. So after that, you list all your fields. And since zip is the common field, therefore the computer gets confused where you want to grab your zip from. And this is where you need to call another function jref, and then you use one of the 2 numbers saying, I want you to grab the zip from the number 1, which is EMPPF. It doesn't really matter which one of the 2 you pick, but it needs to know so that to avoid ambiguity, because it needs a point of reference because it's a common field name. So those are the 4 extra things you would have to do in joins. And as a result, this example will display all the employee information along with the city and state of the employee based on the zip code. And the city and state are not stored inside the employee, so it needs zip as a common field to join the data set. Does that make sense to you guys? Now look at this example, which is on page 362. What do you see different in this example? Than the previous one? One difference, as Ismail said in the chat, is that this one has selection. What is another difference between this example and the previous one? So 362 versus 359. $362 versus $359. One difference is the select. What's the other difference? Did you guys check the very first line on page 362 versus the first line on page 359?
Yes, that DY and SLT, right?
Dynamic select, correct. Because we are selecting some of the data with a selection criteria. Therefore, we need to provide dynamic select. Now, my next question to you guys is that when we use multiple selects, like it's on lines 18 and 19, how do you interpret it? How do you interpret that? If I ask you to explain lines 18 and 19, how will you explain that? For your reference, you can look at page number 342. Read the first paragraph on page 342, and then I'll ask you in 5 minutes. So when you have two selects, one on each line, it translates to an OR. As a smile also said that in the chat. So what it reads out is like this. Select all those records where city is Kenosha, or select all those records where zip code is 52000 through 53144. So if either of the two criteria is met, the record will be selected. So when you use select on each line, it acts as an OR. If you use select on one of the two lines, but you set two criterias, like it is on page 343, what does that translate as? If you have multiple conditions, but one S, it translates as an AND. Correct. So OR means either of the two conditions getting fulfilled, and means both conditions have to be fulfilled. And what is the comp? Comp is an operator with is a function, and the operator is EQ. So where you're looking for city equals to Kenosha, and the range gives you values in range from this to that value. So that's range value. Okay. Anybody has any questions about this? Then we will move on to our next example in the book. That would be page number 372. Figure number 830. Page 372, figure 830. In this example, you can see that we are joining three physical files. So if you look at line number 6, it states that I would like to join through J file three physical files, and these are their names. I would like to then start the first join. So it starts out with a J. The first two files are numbered 1 and 2, and the common joining field is project CD. Then the next join starts from line 9 with a J, and now you're joining 2 and 3, and the common field is employee number. Then you list all your fields. The common fields is where you need to do JREF, and in the parentheses, you write the number of the physical file from where you want to borrow the field. And that's how you will join three fields. Things may go a little bit more length here for 4, and so on and so forth. So here we are selecting all the project descriptions, or just including the employee information, wherever we have a matching employee number and a matching project. So we are basically displaying project members and employees in one record format. So looking at the diagram on page 371, which is figure 8.29, you can see that employee number is an employee PF and project CD is in project PF, but we have a linking table in between called project member PF, which basically links every project with an employee. So this is where we can see which employees are working for which project. So since project is only declared once, an employee can also not be duplicate, but one employee could be working on several projects or one project could have several employees. That's why this intermediary table was created. This is where you can go and track, okay, which project has which employees or which employees working for which projects. So whatever is the nature of your query, then you can query that based on the intermediary table. Okay. So let's take a break here, guys, till 7:35. When we come back at 7:35, we will then do an example of joining these two physical files into a logical file. So I'll see you guys at 7:35. Okay, so is everybody back? Cool. Nathan, smile. Dar, are you back? Pamela's back.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, guys. So as I was telling you before, we went on break that we will be putting together a join example similar to the one that we looked at on page 359. However, using the two members that we have created. One is called the manufacturer member, which has the manufacturer's information. The other one is a parts member, which has the parts information. And then let's first of all switch over to the Remote System Explorer. Once you switch over to the Remote System Explorer, then you will right-click on your source physical file. As you right-click on your source physical file, we will now create a new member that we will call MP for manufacturer parts 1, 22 and your initials. So I'm using the format MP 1, 22 and your initials. That's basically. And then LF will be the member type. So make sure that you pick LF for the member type. Once you do that, just simply hit finish. As you are seeing on page number 359, if you have your books in front of you, that's exactly how we will model this example. So press F4 on the first line. We will have our record format.
Do what?
Press
Really,
F4 on the first line.
not that. I mean the okay, Remote System Explorer.
How far behind are you, Dar?
I was trying to find that where's the source file at?
If you're in Remote System Explorer, it should be listed under your library. FA22 initials. Are you sure you are on a remote system, right? You're not under Data Explorer, correct?
Yeah, I'm on the remote system.
Okay. Don't you see a source physical file called FA22, your initials A?
See objects, commands, jobs, IFS files, files.
I think you went okay. Do you have the same screen as I have on my left-hand side where you see new connection, local, Death Star objects? You open objects and you
Okay,
open
now
library list.
I found it.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
It's a new member. Oh, where's the
You right click on your source physical file and you create a new member. I gave you the member in the chat, MP122, and you put your 2 initials. Make sure the member type is LF, not PF.
LF?
Yeah. And then you hit finish.
What? Okay, so LF. There we go.
Okay, cool. So now on the very first line, you press F4. And then in the name type, you put R. And under the name, I'm putting RECMP1. And I am now filling out the functions column, which is JFile, where I'll list the names of both of these physical files. One of them is manuf, 22 initials, space. The other one is part, 22 initials, and then I hit enter. So that's what my first line looks like. JFile, and I'm listing the names of both of my physical files separated by a space. On the next line, you got to go back under the drop-down box where it says name type, and you have to pick J. This is a common mistake students make in the homework, in class activities, and also in the final exam. Even though they tell me, oh, I am looking at the example on page 359, I did everything correct, but little things matter, guys. Little things matter. So you have to, when you're following lines, you have to follow them 100%. So do not overlook these things. So, and then again, I'm telling again, I will not help you in the final exam if you are making a mistake, because sometimes people email me, and when I say no, they send me another email telling me, can you just have a look at it? No, I will not even have a look at it, because it's final exam. It's your work, supposed to be done by you without any help from anybody. So that's why it's important that you pay attention to these little details. So we pick under name type J, and then under the function, we pick JFile. We pick join, and then you pick, you give each one of your objects a number. So the first one is 1, the second one is 2. Then on the third line, you join them on the common field. What is the common field between both of them? And that is manuf ID, which is the common field. And then you start listing all your fields that you want to select. So for example, I want to select for every part, I want to select the part ID, the part name, the manufacturer ID. And then I have to also, since it's a common field, I got to pick from which of the 2 physical files I'm selecting this. And then I want to pick the manufacturer name. So this would allow me to display the name of the manufacturer with every part. And then I can select and save the changes. Okay. And let's compile. Give me a green check when you guys are done with the successful compilation. So far, Ismail is the only one done. Okay.
All right, so you lost me a while back because every Tuesday I have issues with my internet, even though I keep calling my company to fix it. So I froze up. I don't even know where.
Okay. Did you created the logical file or no?
No, last part I heard we were going back to that parts folder, and that was it.
Parts folder?
I think you said like the right
Well,
click on.
after the break, right?
Yeah, I was
After
here.
the break. Okay, so after the break, all I did was I went to the source physical file and I created a new member. The name of the member, let me put it in the chat again. And this is an LF member.
Okay.
So the name of the member is MP122 and your initials. And the member type is LF.
Okay.
And then I was following the example from page 359, where I was modeling my example on that example, where on the first line, I wrote my record format and I called a J file and I listed all those physical files that I'm interested in joining. On the second line, I made sure that under the name type, I picked letter J. That's why I was telling everybody that's very important that you pick the J in the second line that usually people forget about. And then you join and give them numbers. On the third line, you list the common fields. Then you list all your fields that you want to include and make sure the common field like manufacturer ID, you have to reference as to from which of the two you want to get it from. And then you save the changes and compile. That's how far we came.
Okay. Hold on, it keeps dropping my Death Star. That's the problem today. Okay.
And how are you doing, Dar?
I think I'm done with it.
Are you done or you will be done?
Oh, wait, I got, well, yeah, we'll be done because I have
We'll be done.
one
Okay, okay, yeah,
thing
okay.
left.
Complete it and then compile it. Make sure that it has no errors, and then let me know.
Okay.
Ruby. Shh. Let me add you. March 22.
Okay, I compiled it.
You compiled it, and did you also check the commands log to make sure that it was created successfully?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, awesome. Okay, so we will wait for Pam to complete it. Pamela, once you're done and have compiled it, let us know.
Okay, so I want to compile it, but I get a message that says keyword not valid for this file type. So I'm just trying to figure out what.
Okay, double click on that error and it will take you to the line where the error is generating from. Tell me which line it is.
Line 2.
Line 2. Do you have all the components of line 2? Do you have J in the beginning, and do you have the join in the functions area, and you did not leave any space between the join and the opening parentheses?
Nope. That looks good.
All looks good. And what does the error says again?
Keyword not valid for this file type.
Okay, did you make sure that your your tab says mp12 initials.lf.
I have an extra 2 in there, it looks like.
Doesn't matter. Is it .lf or no? Yes, ma'am. What name do you have on the tab? What is the extension on the tab? Where you currently see my mouse moving? You still have the error, Pam?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I think I'm cutting in and out here again.
Oh, what do you have on the tab? What is the extension of the member? Is it .lf?
Yes, it's a logical file.
It's a logical file. Okay. And okay. Can you go ahead, share your screen? I think that will be the best thing that we could do. Okay. Aha, you misspelled. There is no E in the J field.
Okay.
So go back to your source prompter. No, go back to source prompter. Source prompter is one of the tabs open down below. Where you see your error list, down below, to the left of that, there's a source prompter. Click on source prompter. Yes, yes. Now click on that line 102. Okay, it is JFLED. Okay, hit enter. Okay, and now click in the source code, save the changes, and compile. Okay, now double click on that first error again. Okay, file, okay. Now do you know what it is complaining about is file specified on keyword not found. That means it's complaining that you have parts 22 PJ and manuf 22. So can you scroll? Oh, you call it MP. No. Where's manuf? Where do you have your manuf 22 PJ? I don't see it in the list. What did you call that?
Where are you talking?
You know, the first file you have manuf 22 PJ,
Yeah.
right? Where did you created that? I don't see it anywhere in the list. On the left-hand side, you have the list of items, right?
Yeah.
So I do not see manuf anywhere in that list.
Oh, you mean this one right here?
No, but that is the current one. You also need a manuf, you know, the manuf 22 PJ, where you put all the manufacturer's information. Where's that guy?
That's a good question.
Can you go to your data explorer? Okay. Can you open your tables? Okay. Again, I do not see manuf. All I see is parts.
Okay. He must not have.
Did you not create the manuf
I did. I wonder if I forgot to.
to compile it?
Yeah.
So it looks like you don't have any manuf anywhere. So you may have to go back to Remote System Explorer. And then you may have to scroll up.
Over here.
Okay, not all the way, but a little bit. Right. Just right click on FA22 PJA and create a new member. And then you have to call it MANUF22 and your initials. and then choose PF from the type. Okay, and hit finish.
Oh, so that nice long one we
Okay.
did our break.
Now I will share with you the source code of the MANF. And why don't you recreate that?
Okay.
And then I'll share with you the data, and you may have to re-enter the data. And only then you will be able to compile your logical file, because that's what the error is, that the logical file can't find the physical file that it wants to tap into.
All right, let me do this all over again. Hold on.
You know what, Pam? Ismail has a point here. Can you share your screen again, please, Pam? I did not even read Ismail's comment until just right now. Actually, if you look at right below Manuf, you have a menu F. Double click on that. Yeah, okay, you actually called it menu, not manu. So that's what it is. That's the only change. I mean, like, go
Okay.
ahead and go back to your logical file. Just click the logical file you have up there in your tabs. Yeah. And then go to the very first line and go in the functions area and change it to MENU and hit enter. And then save the changes and then compile. Okay, that's it. Thank you, Ismail. That saved her a lot of time.
Thank you, because I knew I compiled it. It's just my old eyes not seeing the screen.
Okay. So now that we are back here in this RSE environment, we will now like to go to the Data Explorer environment, and we will close the tables. We will open the views, and we will look for MP22. Let me right click and refresh. Right click on the views and refresh. And then once it refreshes, it's giving me a hard time. Okay. Let me disconnect and connect back. That's one way to solve the problem. Here you go. Okay. And here I would right click, data, return all rows. So here you can see that I was able to grab for every manufacturer their products, or every product I was able to display their manufacturer's name. Now you must be wondering, why are things getting displayed in the order of manufacturer ID from manufacturer table and not from the part ID? Because of line number 600. The line number 600 dictates that manufacturer ID from the first file should dictate the sequence of the records. That's why if you notice, it is first displaying all the ones, then the twos, then the three, then the four. So it groups them like that. And how it does that? Because remember, when we created the manufacturer, we created it with a unique and key combination. So all the keys are unique. So they're all grouped together like that. Okay, with that done, let's go back to the Remote System Explorer. And let's go back to the LF and let's click File, Save As. So I'm in the Remote System Explorer. I'm in the Logical File tab, and I'm clicking on File, Save As. And I'll change that 1 after MP to a 2. So I have MP 222 initials. Once it loads, I will close the tab and I'll go down in my list on the left-hand side and I'll double click on MP 222 initials and open it from there.
Wait a minute. So, where'd you get the 222 from?
MP number 2, and the next 2 is for 2022, and then your initials. The previous one was MP1, so this is MP2. So I saved the MP1 as MP222 initials. It's just a save as of the previous file.
Oh,
Okay. And then once you save it as, then you close the tab, you locate the logical file and double click to open it again to have the fresh copy of that loaded in memory. Because RDI, for some reason on the V2 cloud, even after save as, doesn't work with the latest copy of the file. So you got to close the previous tab and double click to reopen it.
an error occurred.
Error occurred in what? In save as?
Java.lang.no pointer exception.
Oh, okay. Close the tab. Close that dialog box. Go ahead, share your screen. Let me walk you through to make sure that you're doing it correctly. Okay. Oh, you're okay. You are in a wrong place. You are
This is what I got when I closed it.
okay.
Oh, I got like 8 different things open.
Right. You 2 million things open there. We are in the Remote System Explorer. We're not in Data Explorer. So let's not even waste our time with this guy. Don't, yeah, just click OK. Just click OK. Now, don't go to Data Explorer. Stay in Remote System Explorer. Go to Remote System Explorer.
One with the server,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yes. And click OK. Okay. Click on that arrow next to the tab, which has number 8 on it. Okay. Click on the gray. Okay, hold a second. No. Okay. Double click on that MP222DS, not in the list, but on the left-hand side. No, not in this list, but from the left-hand side. Yep, double click on that. Okay, cool. That's it. Yeah. Okay, let me share my screen now. Figure out which screen I was on. Okay, it's number 3. Okay, so now here on this screen, we will go down to the very last line and we will open the source prompter and we will do a selection. That I want to select all those items, right? Where the part name equals to drill machine. So I only am interested in drill machine as a part name. I save the changes and I compile. Okay. Once I compile this, you go back in the Data Explorer, refresh your views, and then look at the contents of mp222 initials.lf. Okay. I also now see, I only see the manufacturers who make drill machines. So notice that manufacturer ID number 4 was not even selected because they're not in the drill machine business. Okay. Now switch back to Remote System Explorer. And you will now save the 222 as MP322. MP322. Then it's the same drill. You close the tab and you open it. Now we will make some changes to the last line, where instead of the comp, I want to have values. Values. What values does anybody remember? What does values operator a function do? It basically looks for exact matches, right? That contains exact matches. That means for all the records where the part name is drill machine or hammer. So it will look for both matching one by one. So if either of the two are matching, it will select those. Save the changes, compile. And then you go to the Data Explorer. You refresh your views. And then you return all rows. So now we have all the manufacturers that make hammer or drill machines.
You want us to name that as?
Oh, you still that behind?
Yeah, I was trying to.
Come on, Dar.
What do you want? What do you want to name this as?
MP322 initials. You got to speak a little bit earlier, Dar.
Oh, I already did that. I mean, this thing with the hammer.
Okay, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I did that 5 minutes ago. I renamed it to MP322 initials.
You know what? Enter. Just enter that shit. Save it. All right, I'll be in here. Compile. So compile. Hmm.
Okay, everybody got this one? Okay, Nathan got it. Smile got it. Pam and Dar, how about you guys?
Want us to compile this thing, right? Or no?
Say that again, Dar.
You wanted us to compile this thing, right? Or no?
Yes, of course. You know, after we complete the example, that's the only way for us to know if we did it correctly, by compiling it.
Well, it ain't doing nothing when I press compile.
Okay, is it doing nothing or is it giving you an error?
It's just nothing.
Okay,
Not even giving me an error.
if it is doing nothing, then most probably your RDI is acting up. Close your RDI. Don't close V2 Cloud, just close the RDI and reopen RDI and compile it again. Otherwise, if it doesn't do that, let me know and then we can have a look at it.
Okay, save it. What the heck is this no pointer thing that keeps
I
popping up?
think you have had too many windows open with unsaved changes. So I don't know what you did there, frankly speaking.
The details. That's not helpful. It's the same thing.
So you have to, that's why, after I'm done, I keep closing the tabs. If you would have noticed, I don't have like too many tabs open for that very reason, that I know through that what I'm done with and what I'm working on. And you had like 10 tabs open. So I don't know in which tab you were doing what and where you were, what you saved, what you did not. I don't know. Were you able to save all your data? Were you able to see your data that you ran your reports before on this example?
The data.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Okay, now you lost me.
How did I lose you? I just asked you to close RDI and open it.
No, not that. About the data thing.
By data thing, I mean, when you ran your logical files, did you see any output? Or did you never ran any of the logical files that we did today?
Okay, so when I ran them, did I see output? And by the output, you mean
The data that you put in the physical files, were you able to pull that in the logical files? Yes or no?
I'm not even sure.
Really, Dar?
Sorry.
You're supposed to ask earlier, not wait like till we are closing up and say, I didn't do stuff that you guys did at 7 o'clock.
I mean, I think I did do the stuff that you're talking about,
But you're not sure. That doesn't do any good to me.
yeah.
Yeah. So I need to see your screen. Go to your Data Explorer. Go down to your views.
Oh,
Okay. Now right click, scroll up to the top. Yeah, I mean like scroll to the left first, scroll to the left. Right click on the filtered, the third item from the top. Yeah, and disconnect. Okay. Now double click on it again. And open Death Star. Open your schema, open views. Where are the logical files that we did today, Dar? I see nothing there.
hmm.
Did you even compile any one of them?
Yeah, I did press compile on
You
that
probably
stuff.
had a failed compile, maybe.
What's this?
I don't know, Dar. You tell
And it's
me.
laptops.
You go to go ahead, go to tables. Scroll down to menu 22DS, the menu 22DS. Yes, right click on that. Right click. Go to data, return all rows. Okay, you have nothing there, Dar. It's empty. You never ran any of the data I asked you to run. Right click on parts 22DS. Data, return all rows. Nothing. This is what we did an hour and a half ago, Dar. That's why the two tabs you have open with your data, they have asterisk because you never ran them. You see the two tabs? menu 22DS. Yeah, that's why it's complaining, because you just never ran it. You click OK and hit save. See, it's just all messed up. Click OK. Right click on the last row and delete. Delete. There's
Yes,
a
it
delete.
is.
There's a delete option. Yes, click that. Now save it. Okay, click OK. Check the parts to see if it lets you enter data there. No. Click OK. Close RDI. I don't know what you did, but probably that's the best thing to do. Close it, click OK. And click OK. Click OK. It's not letting you close it. Try closing it again. And okay, deselect all and select OK. Probably this time it'll let you close. Okay. Open RDI again. You probably might have coded stuff, but you did not compile that. That's why you have nothing there. Open, log into Death Star. Go to tables. Right click on menu 22DS. Return all rows. Yeah, it's empty. Right click on menu 22DS again. Click data. Edit. Put 1 for the manufacturer ID. Tab. Just come up with some name. Tab. Come up with a city. Tab. Come up with a state. 2 letters only. MI. Tab. 2. Put another manufacturer's name. Put another city.
Oh, what's California's initials?
CA. Okay, hit enter. Sorry, okay, you went to the third one. Okay, put 3. Put another manufacturer. Put another city. And state. This time after state, hit enter and hit Control S. Okay, that's what you were supposed to do the first time, to enter the data and hit Control S for the data to be saved. Now,
I got that.
okay, you I don't know if you did it or not, but it did not work. Okay, right click on the parts 22DS5 parts. And you go to data, edit. And now you enter part ID 1. Enter a part name.
Just toss something at me.
I can't, because when you throw something at somebody, it could get hurt.
uh,
Gear, Gear, gear. Tab, put a part price. And manufacturer ID of 1, for example. Enter another part like 2. Put a part. Okay, put a price. Let's put the same manufacturer 1. Hit enter. Hit tab, sorry. That's fine. Hit enter or tab, doesn't matter. Now hit Control S. Control S. Okay, you were able to successfully enter 2 records. Good. Now go back to your Remote System Explorer and open your library list. Library list. Yes. Yes. Okay. Now open that MP12DS LF. MP12. No, MP122. Yes. Double click that. Okay. Let's compile that. So you have to first click where it says inside the source code file. Okay. And then yeah, click create LF. Okay. Okay. Now you have a few errors here. So if can you scroll to the right in the source code? In the source code. Yes. Okay. Just 1 second. Can you click on the very first line and hit F4 for the source prompter? Now go again, scroll to the right and click inside where it says J file. The name of your members are, the first one is MANU. You don't have an F. So delete the F. The other one is parts, PARTS. Enter. Okay, now click in the source code, save the changes and compile. Okay, now go back to the Data Explorer. The Data Explorer. The Data Explorer is that database symbols, the blue cylinders. Yes, I should not be saying blue cylinders anymore, guys. It's been 3 weeks. Okay, so you guys should learn the names too. Now what you got to do is refresh your views. You get, okay. I don't think so. You will right click on the views. You right click on the table. Yeah, now right click there and say refresh. Open the views. Okay. And what would you do? How would you check for data? Why would you right click on GRD? You should right click on MP, right? Okay. Yep. Okay, cool. So you're able to see the data now. Okay. Go back to your RSE. open number 2 in the logical files. The second one, which is 222. Oops, I think Dar lost the connection or something. So do you guys have any questions in the meanwhile Dar connects?
No.
So this week, I am also planning on talking just a little bit about databases. And just so that you guys know, I will share my screen here. Just so that you guys know that I've made short videos available for a lot of these items. And the last one of them is a logical file. These ones I have shared with you in the previous weeks as well. And the last one is to join logical files. You have a quiz and you have a homework problem. Now, homework problem number 7 is built on homework problem number 6. You do not need to recreate the publisher and the books. You already created them when you did the assignment 6. You already have the publisher and the books. You already have the data in them. The only new thing you're doing over here is I just put it out there for your reference. The only new thing you're doing over here is you're creating 3 logical files. So read the problems and let me know if you guys have any questions about the problems. If you don't have any questions, then you can move on to the database joke. For those of you who are taking IT in business, you already have done a chapter on databases in that book for IT in business, if you're taking IT in business this semester. So databases, in short, are a way for you to store your data in an organized fashion. That's what the databases are for. So databases allow you to store your data in an organized fashion in a much better way than you can store logical files and physical files. So databases are organized in what we call tables, and tables are further organized into rows and columns. When you create the table, the first thing that you got to do in a table, just like a physical file, you create your record structure. Means you list the field names, you list their data type, you list the field size, you create a record structure. Once you are done creating a record structure, you save that as an object, and after that, you can start entering data in it. Okay, so that's what basically a table is. Very simple, very similar to a physical file, yet it is far more powerful in terms of organization. It has support for a wide variety of data types. It allows you to connect data at physical file level versus having to wait for the logical file to help you connect data. So it's relational. It has better security. It is more modernized. It has better structure. It has faster performance. A lot of the features that physical files don't have, databases do. In this course, you will only be getting a little bit of an introduction to databases. However, in DB2 UDB programming course, you will look at it in much more detail. But in the future semesters, you will see some databases in at least a few courses, but the detail of the databases will be covered in DB2 UDB programming course. So in order for you to communicate with the database, you need a special language called SQL, which is structured query language, SQL. Okay, it's not a programming language. It's a query language. It's how you can question a database. And then these questions are done with a command. And as you know from the earlier chapters in this course, commands can be only one instruction long. That one instruction could be multiple lines, but it's still one instruction. And that's exactly how database SQL language works. We will be diving a little bit deeper into SQL starting next week. But for now, what I would like you guys to do individually on your computers is to watch this 6-minute video, 6.5 minutes video on what is database SQL. Okay, so I will connect back with you guys in 7 minutes. And Dar, we will look at your stuff after class.
Okay.
So you can also watch this video now on your local computer. So guys, that's all for tonight. And next week, we will be going into the databases. So today was our last class with logical files. So I've told you what to expect on the finals in terms of logical files. And we will be then starting to work with physical databases starting next week. And there will be a database hands-on also in the final exam. Dar, you can share your screen now, and everybody else, you're free to go. Yep, Smile, go ahead. Yes, I am a little behind on the midterm stuff. Sorry about that. Yes, I will Okay, you have an older assignment. Okay. Did you just turn in one of your older assignments or was it there? Oh, you do have an older assignment. Okay, okay, yeah, yeah, okay. Oh, okay, okay, sure. Okay. Yeah, I hope I'm planning on catching up with that stuff this week. No, no, you're fine. You're fine. I still have some people turning in assignment 1. So it's been a little crazy as I was busy grading for all the classes stuff that people are turning in from September. So I did not get to the November stuff yet. Okay. Siddhar, you are good to go for that one. Now you need to open the second one, the 222. And in the 222, go down to the very last line. Oh, sorry, no, not to the very last. On the first line, go to the source prompter. You got to get rid of that F in the manufacturer because you have yours as menu. And then also add an S to parts, hit enter. Go to the last line. And in the parentheses, it is not EG, it is EQ. And replace the word drill machine with gear. Okay, enter. Save the changes and compile. Okay. Oh, you have an extra S in part. You wrote it parts name. So go to the last line and open source prompter and get rid of that S. Okay, enter, save changes and compile. Okay, now go to the Data Explorer behind the scene. And then refresh your views. And then right click on the new view and then return all rows. And you should see only the year. Okay, now go up in the tables and open that part 22 DS. Yeah, right click on it, data edit. Okay, let's add another row to it. So hit 3. Put another part. Okay, give it a name, and I'm going to give it a price and maybe put manufacturer number 2. Enter and save changes. Okay, cool. Now switch back to Remote System Explorer. and go to number 3. And then go to the very last line. Okay, and go to the source prompter. Oh, and also, sorry, first fix your first line. Go to the first line and fix your physical file names. Then go to the last line and change the comp to values. Also, also change the name of your field. It is part name. No. I'll tell you what to do inside. Just change the name of the field to part name. Values doesn't use as an operator EQ, so delete EQ and the space. The first value will be gear. First value will be gear, and the second value will be rim. Enter, save changes, and compile. And then go to Remote Data Explorer, go to Data Explorer and refresh views. You return all rows on number 3.
So we said do what now?
Return all rows on the number 3. Yep, it was able to partially get the data set for you. It was able to get the data set where the part name was gear or the part name was a rim. Okay, so that takes
Okay.
care of the examples that you were behind.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you on Thursday.
Yeah.
See ya.
Mhm.